everybody, I'm Amy from Body Fit by Amy, and this is your prenatal dumbbell HIIT workout. So this is Jacqueline, and she is 27 weeks pregnant. I am not pregnant anymore. We have switched roles. You may remember seeing Jacqueline in a lot of my other videos when I was pregnant, when she was doing the higher intensity and I was doing the modifications. This is a prenatal video, but we're gonna go a little bit longer and a little bit harder. So this is a little bit more specific to if you've been working out for a while or you want a little bit more of a challenge. However, we still will be giving you lots of modifications because everybody is different in their pregnancy and in their fitness journey. So all you need for this workout is a set of dumbbells and a mat. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Yes. Love it. Okay, so we're gonna start just getting warmed up. So we're just marching, roll those shoulders to the back and to the front. And of course, make sure that your dumbbells are out of the way. And then big deep breath in and out. A couple more just like that. So like we said, we're gonna show you lots of options. Today, Jacqueline is gonna be using 10s. I would point out that Jacqueline is very fit and she worked out a lot before her pregnancy. So if you're not using 10s, that's totally fine. I'm gonna try to use 12s, but I'm gonna be honest, that's heavy for me. Right now, even though my baby is 11 months old, let's take it here, let's roll through our backs. I still feel like I'm getting back my strength after having my second baby. But it is a good challenge for me. So we'll show you options to take it down to one dumbbell if you need to. And most of what we're gonna do, let's hold it here, and you're just kind of little gentle push, so you're opening up the hips while you're stretching your back, just a couple of seconds on each side, keep going. So again, lots of options, but most of what we're gonna do is gonna be compound movements. So that's an upper and lower together, or an upper and a core, something like that. So you always have the option of just doing one or the other. Let's walk our feet in and round it up. And then just little taps across. So remembering that we want to, all of our rotation in pregnancy, we want to rotate from our hips as well. So we're not just twisting in the torso. So I'll give you the option of just doing the legs or just doing the arms. Everything that we're gonna do, let's take it over our head. We're going to do 40 seconds of work, followed by a 20-second rest. And in that rest, you can tap it out, jog it out, whatever feels best for you. Let's bring those knees up. And then we'll go through things twice and then get about a minute break, a longer break. That's where we get our water. Certainly you can have water before that, but we'll take a breather. We'll talk through our next moves. Let's go hamstrings up to the back. And then we will finish down on the mat. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. And then if you can, those little stretch kicks is a little harder in pregnancy. I remember by the end I was like, okay. Yeah. So those are things to remember, that one, especially if you're in your third trimester like Jack, you got a lot less room in there, so it's pushing on your lungs. You might get winded a little easier. Listen to your body. Remember to work with the talk test. So making sure that you can still carry on a conversation while you're working out. Okay, just tap it out. And also knowing that your flexibility is a little bit different, your balance is a little bit different. So listen to your body, take your time, do what is best for you. Okay, so let's talk through our first moves. So we're gonna grab one dumbbell, bend your knees to get it, because remember, we don't wanna bend from our backs. So, almost like a little bit of a kettlebell swing, so toes are out, but it's a plie, but we're gonna use the power from the legs to come up, over our head, and then behind our head in a tricep. So we'll do the right side, then the left side. Then our second move is just gonna be your very traditional side bend, just bending here. We'll give you a couple of options to get a little bit more of a stretch. So one that's gonna be upper and lower, one that's gonna be more core, that's where we can kind of catch our breath. Again, 40 seconds of work, followed by 20 seconds of rest. All right, so starting with those toes out, right hand, here we go. Drop it down, power it up, and then behind the head. So what I like to do is put my hand that just kind of keeps my elbow in place, because sometimes we have a tendency to get out there with our shoulder, and then we're trying to get as far down behind as we can. Yes, if this feels like too much, you can take it with one dumbbell between both hands. So that is a little modification. Say if you have a 12, like me, right? We're gonna go 10 more seconds. I'm trying. It was a good challenge. One more. Yes, and relax it out. Here's what happened, guys. I said, Jack, what do you normally use? Thinking that now that she's pregnant, maybe she uses 5s or 8s. She uses 10s. So I was like, well, I guess I got to use a 12 today.
It is all I have.
That's true.
It goes up from there.
Yes, it's whatever you have at your disposal. Not everybody has a lot at their house. Okay, so other side. This side might be harder. Here we go. Up. Just in terms of if it might be your left or non-dominant side. Use that hand to keep it steady. And remember, as we're coming up, we're squeezing in our glutes and hamstrings and pulling up gently with that pelvic floor. There we go. And it's getting hard for me, so I'll take this time to show you the modification if you want to use both hands. There we go. It's funny that I'm the non-pregnant one doing the modification.
But she just had a baby.
I mean, she's almost a year, but that's okay. Still postpartum. Last one. Good, relax. So tap it out, catch your breath. Our next move is pretty basic. Remember, we want to move laterally for our core. So down on one side, hold this hand behind the head, and drop it down and bring it up. And then again, making sure that we're pulling in with that deep core. Here we go. I'm out of breath after those, are you? I hope so.
Yes.
So our second move in each circuit is going to be where we catch our breath a little bit more. And again, what we're looking for too, guys, is that we're not bending in those hips or legs. We're taking it nice and steady, again, lateral movement through our sides. And that should also give you a little stretch as well. If it's feeling like too much in your back, you can always drop the dumbbell completely and just do the side bend, right? Yep. Our second time through, we're gonna add a little extra to it if we want it. Last 3, 2, and 1. Stretch it out, tap it out. We'll do the same thing other side. I'm always surprised with those side bends that by the end, you're really feeling it, right?
Yeah.
And the nice thing is that we can't do a lot of direct core work in pregnancy, but we're always stabilizing with that, right? So get set up, other side, core is in tight, moving laterally from the torso. Here we go. Little bend and up. And you can also do this with the hand down if that feels better for you as well. And breathing. And I like that we can hear each other breathing. This is actually really important in postpartum as well, that breathing, really make sure that you're breathing on the exertion. You're pushing that air out, pulling that deep core in. 10 seconds, and then we're gonna do all of that again. And breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's give ourselves, drop it down just so you can shake out those hands. Do each one of those again. So right side, left side with the plie and triceps, right side, left side with the side bend. How are we feeling?
Feeling good.
Good, excellent. Again, if you need to hit pause and take a break, totally fine. Okay, so bend your knees to get it again. Right side, here we go. Plie, power it up, behind the head. Plie, power it up, behind the head. Using that opposite hand. And down. Yes. If you need to use 2. Here we go.
I also feel like you can tell where the baby is, like kind of where there's more pressure
Yes,
on your belly.
it's true. And probably right now the baby is not moving. He or she is sleeping when you're moving.
Yeah.
But you might end up with a really active baby. And relax, tap it out. Because I did twice. And I credit it to lots of exercise, yes. But usually exercise will put the baby to sleep, and then as soon as you want to sleep, right? Then they're all over the place. Okay, so catch your breath, pull that core in. Other side, here we go. This is the last time for this move. Opposite hand to steady it out. Squeezing up and in. And breathe. We'll just keep reminding ourselves that we can carry on a conversation. I mean, I'm always carrying on a conversation with myself.
It is actually pretty impressive.
So it is a learned skill over the years. but it's really actually really fun.
Balance.
Yeah, so that's the thing to remember. Your balance is gonna be a little bit off during pregnancy. So just take your time and really engage that core. Last one, and relax. Tap it out, heart rate's up. Now we get that core to be a little bit of a breather while we'll keep working. So that's HIIT training, right?
Right.
HIIT, high intensity intervals. So our compound move is more of a higher intensity, then we get a core to be a little bit lower. So hand up, here's what we're gonna add. If you wanna add a little reach, side knee, you can do that. Join me here. Reach, side knee, reach. You still wanna keep it super controlled. Sometimes we might feel off balance bringing that knee up. If that's you, just keep it just like we did in that first set, right? Reach and in. Looking good. We got about 10 seconds. Take your time. You don't have to be at the same pace as either of us. Last one. Tap it out. So we're gonna get that other side, and then we're gonna get a minute break. So in that minute, we're gonna catch our breath, grab some water, even if you don't feel thirsty, and then we will learn our next moves. Okay, so nice and steady, core in tight, deep core in, reach that hand up. If you wanna add the side knee, join us here. And as you get further along, especially in that third trimester, you might have less room for that knee. So if that's you, that was certainly me at the end. Reach up. Yes. Let's go 10 more seconds.
I love this because you feel it in your back.
Right, exactly. And again, we want to keep those back muscles working because everything is growing forward. Last one. Good. So bend your knees to drop your dumbbell down. Grab a sip of water. So we actually have longer than a minute. We'll have about a minute 20. So yeah, what you're pointing out is that lateral movement and anything, again, we've talked about those things that we do in pregnancy as ab substitutions when you can't do your regular ab work. You're strengthening the entire core. Everything wraps around. So that lateral movement is great for that. So in our next set, we're actually gonna do a wood chop as the second move, which is kind of similar. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you with this one dumbbell. So 2 dumbbells. So we're still gonna work right side, left side. And we're gonna do a wide row. So what I mean by that is a little bit wider of our elbows. If you have heavier dumbbells, like me, you can pull them up to that regular row. But we're gonna do a one-legged deadlift. 2 options. Take it here. Obviously, it's a lot of balance. Bring them up and bring it up. Or just take that foot back, but still do that hinge at the hips and bring it up. That's our first move. Then we're gonna drop our dumbbell. Our second move is just gonna be a wood chop, twisting knees and hips, taking it across our body. You can either keep it small, knees to hips, or you can extend it out. Do what's best for you. Okay, so 1 foot forward. Let's actually turn into each other.
Okay.
And here we go. So you're taking it here, wide row, and bring it up. Yep. So if your balance is really good, like Jack, you can do exactly this, getting that leg. Oh.
Right.
I know, that always happens, right? This happens to me too. Anytime I talk about balance, I get off balance. So that's gonna happen, totally fine. Just tap that other foot down. And again, here's your modification. Just tap it back, still get the hip hinge. You still feel that leg, right?
Oh yeah.
So even when you're just here, you're still pushing into that front heel. 5 seconds.
It is amazing how much your balance changes.
Right? So we'll stay right where we are and we'll do that other side. So we're here, hinging at the hips. So again, extend that leg up or tap it back. And if your weights are too heavy and you want to just do one and then the other, that works too. Okay, here we go. Take it forward, wide row, and up. Forward, wide row, and up. And again, thinking about your core being engaged. Tap it back if you need to. That's okay. Let's show that modification. Yes. I think this is hard for everybody when you're not pregnant. And If that still feels like too much, just do the motion without the weights. That helps too, right? Breathe. This is definitely one of the more challenging moves in this workout today. So you find your level and relax. Good. So drop one of your dumbbells, bend your knees to do it. Feel those hamstrings, right?
Yep.
So we're gonna take it to the wood chop. So again, you wanna pivot, turning the knees and the hips, down by the hip, up by the shoulder, or if you wanna get a little more arms, take it here to here. I just want you to keep it slow. Here we go. Here to here. Down and up. So I've got a little heavier, so I'm gonna stay knee to hip. If you have something lighter, like let's say you have a 5 or a 3, you could probably really extend those arms even more. And again, we're taking it nice and slow and controlled. Watch how she's pivoting. Hips and knees are turning. We got 10 seconds. So a little bit of a heart rate push too, right?
Yeah, it is.
Last 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Breathe. Right?
Yeah.
So this circuit is a little bit of high intensity and high intensity. We don't really have that interval as much. So we'll get the other side again. Turn on the knees and the hips, low to high, whether you're staying by hip to shoulder or extending the arms out. Here we go. Twist and twist. Very controlled. And breathe. And up. Breathing out.
But I really appreciate that you always say our goals change
Yes.
during pregnancy.
Yes. So before, maybe we have a certain fitness goal or appearance goal, maybe it's weight loss or losing inches or getting stronger in a certain way. When we're pregnant, it's all about just staying active, staying strong as best we can. The main goal is healthy pregnancy and relax. Breathe. Drop that down, give your hands a break. Healthy pregnancy, healthy baby, healthy mom. That's all that we care about. If you get a little bit, if you get a lot, it doesn't really matter. Like what the research shows is that just getting moving during pregnancy, and by that we mean getting your heart rate up, grab both those dumbbells, and getting some strength training is super beneficial. Here we go. So take it here, wide row.
Sorry, I felt
Push
really
it out.
close.
No. You go there, I'll go here. Yes, there we go. Okay. Down, wide. So really working to stabilize in that core and then also that foot. So it's really your whole leg, hamstring and glutes, those big muscles in the legs. But if you think about really pushing into that heel, that's what's gonna keep you steady, right?
Yep.
Last one. Yes, right hamstring.
Yes, good.
Ah, feel that. Right. Woo. Right. So catch your breath. We'll do the same thing other side. So other foot forward. Remember, you can modify just by tapping it back. Hinge at the hips. Here we go. So take it down, wide, and up. Down. And up.
My right leg is harder for me.
Is it?
That's the one I get kicked by a horse.
Oh, right. So Jacqueline has a previous injury. So her right, even though that's her dominant side, is a little tougher. Everybody's different. Woo! Right? So again, just reminding you, if you want to take the dumbbells out of it and modify, that helps a little bit of balance. This hip hinge move, whether it's one leg or both, super practical. We want to make sure we don't round in the back, but especially once that baby's here and they're toddlers or they're sitting up, so much of this all day long. So good, relax. Drop one dumbbell, stretch that out. Really just that deadlift motion in general. And then backward too, because once the baby's here, holding the baby, rocking the baby, changing the baby, all of those things are gonna pull us forward. Okay, so here we go. Wood chop right, wood chop left, twist in the knees and the hips, take it up. Low to high, breathe and breathe. Think about that core pulling in, down and up. Yes. After this, we have 2 circuits down.
Yeah.
2 to go. Twist and up. Yes. 10 seconds on this right side. Last 3, 2, 1, and relax. Woo! Breathe. Heart rate's up, right?
Yep, it is.
Breathe
We're still
in
able
through
to
the
talk.
nose. Yes, we're still able to talk, so we have that talk test. And after this, remember, we'll get a minute break to talk through our next set of moves. Okay, so here we go. Drop it down.
Wait.
Woo! Bring it up. You would have noticed pretty quickly. Your body would have told you, we already did this. Twist and twist. And again, just reiterating, we want our whole body turning, not twisting in the torso. And it's controlled. So it's a little less of a swing or a chop like it would be in our regular workouts and a little more controlled, right? Yeah, we're keeping it. Still working the back, right? We feel our back getting stronger, but not reactive. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Yes, good. Catch your breath. Grab a sip of water. 2 circuits down, 2 to go. Grab a quick sip. How are you feeling?
Good. Feeling good.
Okay, so just keep tapping it out. You can roll through those shoulders. Catch your breath. Grab a sip of water. We're about halfway through, so 2 more circuits where we'll go through 2 times each, right?
Yep.
So our first move, I'll go ahead and show you, is we're gonna bend the knees to get those dumbbells. A side lunge, so you and I will stagger a little bit. Side lunge, at the bottom of that side lunge, we're gonna curl, hammer curl towards our shoulders, push out of it. So that's all it is. If you wanna do them separately, that's fine too, if you wanna do the side lunge. And then take the curl, but we're gonna try to curl at the bottom so we hang it on that hip a little bit longer. So always wanna be working those hips since they're working hard during pregnancy and especially during delivery. Our second move, we're gonna take it down to a side plank. We're actually gonna stay on our knees. We're gonna lift up in the side plank, open up in the clamshell, down and down. Lift up, down and down. So go ahead and grab your dumbbells. We're gonna start going to that right side, or right side for us. Side lunge, here we go. So lunge, hang out here, curl to the shoulders, press out of it. Side lunge, curl, and press. Down, curl, and press. So you do not have to go at the speed we're going. You can take it slower. You can take it quicker, but just make sure you're keeping it controlled. And breathe. Yes. 5 seconds. How are we feeling?
Woo!
Yes.
We're feeling it.
Good. And last one. Yes, and relax. And breathe. So we love the side lunge in pregnancy because, again, that lateral movement, we need to strengthen those hips, but really great for everybody because we don't have lateral movement as much in our everyday lives, right? So important to keep our hips strong and for mobility and flexibility. Here we go, other side. Lean into it. Remembering that that side lunge is bent legs, straight legs. So we're driving our hips to the back and getting a little stretch in that opposite leg. So as we get tired, what we're making sure, guys, Jacqueline's doing a great job, is that she's keeping her eyes up, back flat, not letting herself round as she gets tired. So check in with that. If you're starting to get tired, just do one or the other. Just do the curl or just do the side lunge. That's fine too. Or alternate one at a time. Lots of options. Last one. Breathe. Yes.
Yeah.
Tap it out.
Good job, Jacqueline.
Good job, Jacqueline. So come down on your side. Doesn't matter which one. Let's go this way. Yep. So nice, demonstrating how we get down in pregnancy on our side, on our elbow. Here we go. So we're gonna lift up, open up in that clamshell, drop it down. Up, open. Clamshell is really important, pregnancy and postpartum as well. You're gonna engage the core. Side planks are so great. We can always do side planks, pregnancy and postpartum. So we're here, Yes, good. And you might not have a lot of flexibility and mobility in that clamshell. That's why we do them, because most of us don't. Everything's in tight. Got about 10 seconds. Yes, right?
Yes.
Last one. Good, relax. So very carefully swing those legs around to the other side. And then same thing here. So core's in tight. So while we got a couple seconds, just do that deep belly breath. Pull everything in. And then we're gonna lift in that side plank, up in the clamshell, and down. Here we go. Up, open up. So think about your feet staying glued together. And it feels a little counterintuitive, but if you can breathe out as you come up and pull that deep core in, right?
Breathe out now.
Up. Yes, exactly. Inhale. Exhale. Yes, good. And that shh breath, especially postpartum, is helpful. 10 seconds. Last one right here. And relax. Good. So let's take those feet here. Just open up those hips a little bit. If you can get into that stretch, right? So this is a little bit of a double whammy with those hips, right? Side lunge and then clamshell. Go ahead and come back onto your feet carefully. Grab those dumbbells. Back into the side lunge. Here we go. So take it to the side, curl,
I missed one.
and bring it up. That's okay. I mean, again, it does not matter. You know what I would say. If you're here and you're moving, you are successful today with the workout. I say that with everybody, but especially when we're pregnant. All we want to do is get active, get moving, and breathe. 5 seconds. We got time for one more after this. And tap it out. Yeah. Last side lunge. I feel it so much, so I can't imagine
I'm feeling it.
how you and the baby are feeling. So roll your shoulders, catch your breath. Big deep breath in. Other side lunge. Here we go. Lean deep, curl. And a good tip as we're starting to get tired and we want to lean a little bit forward or let the weight pull us forward, is to do exactly what you're doing. Keep your eyes up. So eyes up straight in front, and that's going to keep you from wanting to round as that weight pulls you forward. Eyes up, shoulders back, and breathing out. Push into that hip. Here we go, 10 seconds. And then no more side lunges, no more curls, I promise. How about one more for good measure?
Oh,
yes! So dumbbells to the side, clamshell, take it down carefully. Side plank, clamshell, both sides. Then we get our minute breather, right? So elbow beneath the shoulder, big core breath, pull it in. Lift, lift, down, and down. Up. Open it up. Yes. So I like to keep them two separate motions. It's tempting to kind of come up as we lift our leg, but I think if you can be very specific about it. Yes. Good. 10 seconds. So after this, after the other side, we have one more circuit. We may have a couple little bonus things on the mat at the end, but they'll be relaxing, I promise.
Oh, really?
Last one. Good, relax. Bring that up, yes. Swing those legs around to the other side. Whew. I asked Jack what she thought was missing in the prenatal series, and she said she'd been doing a lot of my other videos that were not prenatal and modifying, which is great, totally fine. Here we go, lift, up. But it made me think we should have some prenatal strength that is a little bit longer, a little bit more like our traditional videos with those compound movements. Because a lot of us, especially if we have been working out for a while, can keep up with that pace with a little modifications. seconds. There we go.
Kettlebell.
Yep. Here we go. We are so close. Then we get a minute to breathe.
Yes.
Up. Yes, last one. And relax. Bring it up. Stretch out that side. Bring your feet here. And again, open up those hips. So Jack and I were just talking about this, about how important abduction and adduction, so pushing out, pushing in, inner outer thighs, is during delivery. And I can tell you, I've had both kinds of deliveries, C-section and then vaginal. And I mean, you really need it for both, but especially when you're pushing that baby out. Bring it up. But in terms of recovery for both, really important to be strong all over. Okay, so coming up slowly. So real quick, I'm gonna show you your next two moves. So we're gonna use one dumbbell, but you have two options. So we're gonna do a traditional squat, so feet forward, drop those hips back, get low, and then as we come up, we're gonna press and rotate. So again, knees and hips. So you can do one dumbbell just like that, or, because we're gonna go all to one side, you can do it if you wanna go one side at a time, like this. Again, we're rotating knees and hips though. And then real quick, we're gonna take it down to that bird dog, just alternating. Second time through, we'll have a little variation. So grab one dumbbell. You can either have it with both hands or one hand. Starting here, drop it low, press to one side. We're gonna keep it all on one side. So that's gonna get a little heavy for some of us quickly. So you can take it between both hands, but still pushing to that one side. This is our very last move we're gonna do up top. So give it all you got. Perfect. So watch how our hips are turning. Breathe in, breathe out. Yes. 10 seconds. One dumbbell or two. Yes. Last one. Relax, right?
Yes.
So roll those shoulders. Everything should be tired. We're getting towards the end of the workout.
Yeah.
So you should feel tired. And again, we feel tired all the time in pregnancy, right? No matter what. We're tired when we wake up. So breathe. Same thing, other side. One hand if you can. Drop it low. Press. Good. Low to high. And on that squat, drive those hips back. Back and low. Hips back. Good. So a good way to check yourself during pregnancy is to hold your partner's hands or a railing or something and really drop those hips back. That's why you also get a little back stretch that way as well. Here we go. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2.
Yes.
Good. Drop that dumbbell down carefully on your knees. Woo! Sweat in my eyes. So little stretch back as much as you can. There we go. All right, so bird dog. Big inhale. Pull that belly button in on the exhale. Reach up. Opposite arm, opposite leg. So we're gonna do a little variation on our second set. Bird dog is, again, another great modification. If you're doing one of those regular videos or a regular class, anything in that plank position, bird dogs and side planks are a great way to stay down on the mat, but be safe for pregnancy. So take your time, watch how we're not arching our back, and breathe. Good. There we go, right? 3, 2, good. And then just take that time to get a little stretch back. Right, good. Whew. Some really good flexibility you got going there. So we're gonna go ahead and bring it back up. So that one we're just alternating our second time through. Go ahead and grab one of your dumbbells. Last standing move. Here we go. Deep squat, rotational press. Deep squat, rotational press. One side or both hands press. So this is really your last big heart rate push. So breathe. Again, if you need a break, take a break. But if you can push through, know that this is our last standing move, compound move. Couple things on the mat, then we are done, right?
I almost got it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes.
I cheated
That
last
shoulder, right? That's okay. It's not cheating. Whew, breathe. That's modifying. There's a difference.
Yes, modify.
Modifying is not cheating, I promise. Okay, catch your breath. Other side, then everything else is on the mat. Here we go. Deep press and rotate. So think of your elbow coming right down on top of your knee. If you can't get down that low, that's okay. But that way you're staying in alignment. Breathe. Woo, yeah. Yes. Rotating on those knees and hips. There we go.
You got it. Still talking.
Yes, still talking. 10 seconds. Finish strong. Then mat work. Then stretch. Here we go. Last one. Yes, relax.
Yeah.
So bend your knees to drop it down. A little stretch forward. All right. Down into that bird dog. Whew, yes. All right. So let's just go one side, and we're going to go out, elbow to knee. Out, elbow to knee. So we're trying to stay on one side. If that starts to bother your hips, you need a little stretch break, then just take it down, get a stretch, pull that core up and in, and breathe. Exactly. Good.
I should have been on the same shoulder.
Oh no, same side. So then, let's do this. Let's hold it out. And for our last 10 seconds, we're going out to the side. I'm gonna give you some space.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Out to the side and in. Here we go, we got it. Out, in, last 2. Good, relax. Woo. Stretch those shoulders out. I'm gonna let you do all of them this time. And I'm gonna talk you through. So breathe. So yes, if you're doing the same shoulder that you last worked, you're probably gonna feel that a little bit more.
Yeah, that wasn't smart on my part.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna comment that I'm working you too hard, and we'll just
She's
reassure
not.
you. Here we go.
She told me to modify.
Jacqueline knows her body. Here we go. And she has talked to her doctor about exercise. She knows her limits. She's definitely modifying and going slower than I've ever seen her go before. This is slow for her. Good, and bring it up and in. Good. And we'll go 2 more just like that. Good, so hold it out and then go to the side and breathe. Out and in. Good. Excellent. Last 3, 2. Good. Sit back into those hips. Good work. Breathe. So I'm gonna have you grab a sip of water and then some very gentle things on the mat. And we are done. How do we feel? Right?
Great.
Yes.
Sweat my eyes.
Yep, that's okay. That happens. Especially summer. Jacqueline's having a summer pregnancy like I did last year.
Good times.
Good times
Like
in Los Angeles, right?
Yep.
Okay. So come into a seated position. So this is something that you could do at home, and we're just gonna use it as a little bit of a finisher. So feet here. So my hands are here. You're just gonna push your knees up into your hands. 3, 2, 1, and then release. Just gentle push. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna stay all on the inside and release. Think about that core in 3, 2, 1, release. 3, 2, 1. So big inhale, exhale. Right, so we feel that pretty quickly, right?
Yeah.
And again, these are super important muscles for pregnancy.
We talked about these in my birthing class.
Oh, good. Last 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, and 1. And then roll it forward, just stretch, let that open out. If you need to walk those feet out a little bit, that's okay too. So these are good things that you can do at home if you have older kids sitting on the floor with your toddlers. watching TV before you get into bed, or at the end of a workout. So then let's do the opposite. So we're gonna put our hands on the outside. So now talking about abduction, right? So moving away. So you're pushing down 3, 2, 1 on the exhale, inhale up. Exhale. So again, opposing forces. So you're giving yourself a little bit of push up as your knees push down, right? Yep. Good posture, core still engaged. Let's go 4, 3, 1 more. Good. So take your feet out, a little stretch for that. It's kind of hard to get into if you're pregnant, especially. Cross that foot over if you can, and then just inch it up. So, yep. So that's an option, or you can also do this from a chair. So if you have a chair or the couch and you just want to cross it over. So for me, since I'm not pregnant, I can probably get it a little higher, but in pregnancy, you probably want to stay a little bit further out because of that core.
There's no room.
Yes, baby, I should say, not even because of your core, because of that baby. Okay, then we'll switch that, take it out, and again, start here, and then just walk it into wherever is comfortable for you. And you may have more mobility and flexibility.
Yeah, on my left side then, which is really tighter.
Well, and also remember in pregnancy, your body's releasing relaxin, which is the hormone that does exactly what it sounds like. Relaxes those joints and muscles and tendons to be able to birth the baby, right? And to accommodate for pregnancy.
Right.
So breathe. And then just see the position. We're just gonna do a few just inhales, exhales. So inhale, pull it back. Exhale as we come in, deep core in. So we're doing a little bit more of a stretch with it, exaggerated, but also think about that belly breathing. So last one with the stretch. And then from here, just the breathing. So inhale, expand through the lungs. Exhale, pull. Yes, good. And breathe. So this is what's so great about that. If you were to see Jacqueline from the side, and we'll have her do it in a minute, it looks like her baby's disappearing, right? So it's not, baby's still there, but that's her pulling that deep core, that transverse abdominis in. So breathe for a second. Let's go ahead and have you come up to a standing position because I just want to show this. I've showed it in a lot of my videos, but watch here. She's going to expand this way. And on the exhale, see how everything's going in. So she's not sucking in this way. She's not moving through her back. It's all in that deep, deep core. Think about kind of a little tilt of the hips to the ribs, almost like you're zipping up like a zipper. And also this is super important, this belly breathing, TA breathing for the postpartum period. Let's get one more. Good. Do this every day if you can. So how I fit it in, because let's be honest, we don't have time, we're tired, all of that, that's everybody, is anytime I went to the bathroom, which when you're pregnant is a lot, I would make myself do 5, or before I got in the shower, I would do 5 before I got in the shower, 5 when I got out, little things like that. Don't think of it as, it feels overwhelming if it feels like additional exercise. But if you can just sneak them in, even when you're driving, that kind of stuff, strengthening that deep core, and then we'll do it again a lot in the postpartum period. Okay, so let's reach those hands forward. How do you feel? I feel tired.
Yeah, I feel good.
And sweaty.
Like we worked really hard.
Yeah. And then reach it back.
Which always makes me feel like as strong as beautiful.
Yes.
So like when we work hard, I'm like, yes.
Exactly. And even though it's hard, and then reach behind if you can grab them and open it up. If you can't, that's okay. Just reach those thumbs back. There's something about pregnancy. Our bodies go through so many changes, and it's so hard in so many ways. You just kind of feel like a stranger in your own body, and things are growing and things are different. But I hope you feel really strong and powerful, because we are. Take it for us. And then no matter how that baby comes into the world, if it's a C-section, if it's an induction, if it's unmedicated, medicated, roll through that wrist, you did it, right? You are strong, you are healthy, and that's why we're working out, right? To be strong and healthy for us, for our babies, for the people we love. take it across the other side. There we go. And then we got a little inner outer. Let's take 1 foot forward, hinge at the hips for a little hamstring stretch. This is another one. Yeah, right? I think we're gonna feel those tomorrow. So you can just have hands on both legs or you can reach towards one. This is another one that you could do from a seated position. So if you're sitting in a chair, just pull that toe towards you, lean into it. And then other side, take it here. Watch tomorrow, I'm gonna be like, I'm so sore. And Jack will be like, oh, I'm doing another workout.
No. I am gonna be sore. I can tell you right here, I'm gonna be sore.
Yes, good. I do have a prenatal stretch video as well that you can check out. Make sure you get more of a stretch and a cool down on your own. 1 big deep breath in. And out. You did it. Woo! Great job, everybody.